about the quota proposal that you were talking about.
In 2009, as you know, women's organizations, a number of them have been working on women's political participation for years and looking at how to institutionalize measures which can make women's political participation, the level of participation, equitable. So one of the measures is using quotas. So in 2009, a broad coalition of women's organizations and women's organizations working specifically on political participation as well as women candidates came together to propose a formal quota system, which was then taken forward by the Ministry of Gender and was integrated into the revision of the law on political parties, which would, one, require political parties to have formal quotas within their structures, but more importantly, within the Constitution, to have very specific language with regard to gender parity and quotas.
So what do you think is the potential of that happening now, after the earthquake, and where can, what?
It's a difficult question because I think that we need to support, and that is what UNIFEM focuses on, supporting women's participation in governance and decision-making processes, both in elected positions, nominated positions, and also within citizen-based organizations. So how the electoral process will be defined, relaunched, I don't know. But I think that this is a moment where women's political participation in decision-making from the community level to all the other levels is critical. And if there is a relaunching of the electoral process, there as well. But I think that it is work that needs to continue. It has been there before, it needs to be upscaled, and it needs to really, really become something broad-based, national, and throughout the country.
Okay. One last question about the Haitian grassroots women's movement. You mentioned that it's very vibrant. Where is it now today, and in terms of after the tragedy? Can you speak to that?
I think that if I look at women and I look at women's organizations in Haiti, I think that they have risen to the challenge and will continue to do so despite the fact that the women's movement and women's organizations have lost key members, have lost strong gender advocates, and have lost the many, many, many women out of the 300,000 people who have died who are active in their communities, and they too are leaders. But what I see is that women's organizations are mobilizing. I see that women in neighborhood associations are mobilizing. Women within different types of groups are mobilizing, and that's going to continue.